Hey everybody, welcome back to Signing Says. Happy Tuesday. Today is Tuesday. It is freezing outside. If you're in the Chicagoland area, it is so cold. I hope everybody is enjoying their last few weeks of 2021 and getting ready for the start of 2022, getting ready for the holidays. Christmas and New Year's is right around the corner, so I hope you all are staying warm and enjoying these last few weeks. So today is going to be a quick video. It's actually a requested video. Someone recently asked me, what do you do when you meet deaf people? Like, how do you introduce yourself? What is the dynamic of the introduction in that conversation? What is it like? What am I supposed to say? And I guess they have recently met some deaf people and were confused. So they reached out to me, and this video will be my response. Okay, so let's think about hearing culture. As a member of the hearing community myself, what is the introduction like usually when we introduce ourselves to people? Typically it's a hey, it's a handshake, it's a how are you, it's a hi, something of that nature. At the very least, we'll say hey, right? At the most, we'll say our name. Now we can have an entire conversation with somebody and they would never know our name. Why? Because as a hearing culture, we value ourselves on two things that I know for sure. That's space and privacy. So I can have a whole conversation with you and you wouldn't know my name. And we like to say, oh, well, you didn't ask. Typical, right? But it also depends on the dynamic of the introduction. Now, for all intents and purposes of this video, we'll just say it's just a general meet and greet, a general hi. So like I said, at the very least, we'll say hey. At the very most, we'll say our names. Now, in the deaf culture, they're a very close-knit community. They like to ask questions. They like to get close to you. They're very touchy-feely, very close. So if, like I said, if you're not a person that's touchy-feely, as a person of hearing culture and a person in the hearing community, we value space. They don't. Like, you ain't got no space over there. An introduction with a deaf person is pretty simple. It's a hey. If they say hey, you say hi back. It's usually a wave. Not in the same way. At the very least, you'll say hey. At the very most, you'll say your name. Now, in both cultures, I don't think anybody in general wants to know anything about a person if they didn't ask. It's like, I'm not meeting a deaf person like, hey, my name is so-and-so. My school is here. I work here. Like, there's no reason for you to give that information if nobody asks you. You know what I'm saying? But for deaf people, it's more close. So it's a trusting community. So they're building ways to trust you. They may ask you where you live, but it's not because they want to stalk you. It's maybe they know people in that deaf community, know people in the area. They may ask you what school you went to, just to be curious. They may ask you what you went to school, like just a general normal conversation, right? But I think at the very least, you say hey. Now, if you do know ASL, if you know some sign language, if you know the ABCs, this will be an opportunity to show your skills and demonstrate that you know a little something. If you do. If you don't, then you will probably just have to gesture like, and they will understand. But if you really don't know anything, but if you know the alphabets at least, you could say, hi, my name is Michelle. And if you want to offer that information of I'm deaf or I'm hearing, you can. But usually in both cultures, deaf and hearing community, when somebody wants to know something about you, they ask you. So there's no need for you to keep going with it, because not even that they don't care, they didn't ask. So two different cultures, but introduction is pretty much the same. You can shake their hands if they reach out a hand. If you reach out a hand and they're willing, hi, my name is Michelle. Hello, my name is Michelle. It's pretty simple. You don't need to give out any information that they don't ask for. But if you want, hi, I'm Michelle, I'm deaf, or I'm hearing. That'll be simple. I'm deaf or I'm hearing. And we did this in videos prior, so you can go back and look at those videos. But I'm deaf and I'm hearing. So it's pretty simple. If you're with a person, like in the hearing culture, if you're with a person and they say, hi, this is my friend so-and-so, you would maybe reach out a hand like, hi, reiterate, this is my name. Hi, a handshake. Sometimes we don't shake hands, just say hi, Same way in the deaf community. If you're with a friend and they say, her name is blah, blah, blah. Or she'll say, maybe they'll say, it's my friend. And that'll be spotlight on you to introduce yourself. So it just depends on the dynamic of the introduction, who you're with. It's not an interview by all means. There's no need to tell me where you live, you know, what school you went to, you know, what you ate for breakfast. Now, unless they ask, for sure. But if they don't ask, there's no need to. When you meet a deaf person, it's pretty much, it's not rocket science. They're not aliens. You know, they're normal human beings. Just like you have a conversation with a hearing person, it's the same thing with a deaf individual. They may ask questions that hearing people don't ask because, again, we value ourselves on space and privacy. So there may be things that they may ask you, you may be surprised. But don't be surprised because they are genuinely good people. As a community, as a culture, they're very close. So they may ask questions that you may think is, why are you asking me that? But don't be alarmed. It's normal. I think I think they answered the question, right? So when you meet a deaf person, specifically, hey, my name is blah, blah, blah. I'm deaf, I'm hearing. And they will gauge the conversation. If they want to know more from you, they will ask you questions, throw questions out. And at that point, you can answer those questions. Same way in the hearing community. So it's pretty simple. I hope that answers your question, Dawn. I hope you see this and you text me and let me know that I answered your question. For her and other people that are curious, what do you do when you meet deaf people? I mean, it's nothing to be done, you know, per se. It's just a general or normal introduction. Like, there's no need to freeze up or get tense or get scared. Like, none of that, because they're still human. They're just deaf. You can still normally introduce yourself. Like I said, there's so many different dynamics and ways introductions can go, the different settings, where you're at, so many things. But like I said, for intents of this video, we'll just say it's a general hey, like a general hey. You know, if you meet a deaf person, just say hey, you know, your name. And like I said, they would throw questions at you if they choose to ask. So that's pretty much it. I hope you have a great rest of your Tuesday. If you have any other questions, any thoughts, any comments, anything else, you can definitely ask me. I will answer your questions via video, or if need be, maybe just comment. But I hope everybody has a good Tuesday. I hope you all are staying warm. Remember, like, share, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think, how I'm doing. If you have any other questions, I will be happy to answer those. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.